I've given this a lot of thought, I said, and I've come to the conclusion that I can't go through with it. David put an arm around my shoulders. Circumnavigating my waist had become more of a challenge than it used to be. Not to be negative or unhelpful, but I don't think that's an option anymore, V. We were slumped on the couch, staring out over the sea of baby-related items we'd just schlepped home from what I prayed was our last ever shopping trip. A bouncer with an electronic vibrate function that my friend Mel from next door swore I'd be grateful for. 2 colourful mobiles to go above the crib because we couldn't agree on which one to get. A roster system would be in place until the offspring could decide for herself. Bulk supplies of talc, nappies, wet wipes, rash cream, and lavender-scented baby rub. Tiny hats, booties and singlets, so small they required 4 zeros to indicate sizing, all in nice neutral greens and yellows because once we'd announced we were having a daughter, the pink gifts started arriving thick and fast. To combat princessification, we'd bought Lego, Meccano, books from the Mighty Girl reading lists, science experiments and chemistry sets, and Tonka trucks, as well as a good sturdy teddy bear. If we'd been stockpiling canned goods and weaponry in the same manner, we'd have been called doomsday preppers, but as it was, we looked like precisely what we were. Very nervous, expectant first-time parents. David had even gone through the storage shed where we'd put all his stuff that couldn't fit into my house, once again avoiding having the discussion about what would eventually happen to said stuff, and emerged triumphantly with the old microscope he'd been given as a boy. He'd polished it till it shone like new, and now it sat on a shelf in the library, waiting patiently for our child to be seized by science. Occasionally we wondered if we might be getting way ahead of ourselves, but we wanted to be organised, ready. But that was the fun stuff, not what was making me want to back out of the whole baby-having deal. It was all the unfun stuff. Bottles, sterilisers, a nappy bag big enough for a US Marine to pack her gear in, a pram that required an engineering degree to put together, let alone operate, a changing table with a simply ridiculous number of drawers, a plastic bath, a high chair, and not even worst of all, an apparently irony-free potty shaped like Winnie the Pooh's head. But the thing that had me making for the hills as fast as I could waddle was the breast pump. It looked nasty. I couldn't imagine trying to attach it to my worst enemy, let alone me. I'm not thick. Of course I understood that expressing milk would mean I didn't have to get up every time the bub needed a night feed, and it would also mean the other parent would have no good excuse not to do it. But still, breast pumps make the Iron Maiden and the crocodile shears look appealing. The longer I stared at it, the less I liked it. Are you sure? I mean, there's got to be some kind of voodoo that can— No voodoo, no hoodoo, no magic around the baby, he said severely. Not until Maisie's older, anyway. I think I would like a sandwich now. You just had a sandwich. To be precise, you had 2 BLTs at that cafe, and then you ate half of mine. But he got up anyway and stepped around the bench into the kitchen. Correction, our daughter had 2.5 BLTs. While she's distracted by digestion, I'd like a sandwich. I don't think it works like that. Cheese and Vegemite?